Hey guys, welcome back to another video. The round is kicked off. Jed Stewart is locked into my team. So I talked about it yesterday, wasn't sure which direction I was going to go, Reece Walsh or Jed Stewart. Ended up going Jed. Don't love it. Like prior to the game, I didn't love it just because, I don't know, he's a bit of a gross option. But I didn't really want Walsh in the end. The reason I talked myself out of it, a couple of reasons. Mainly, so he averaged 51 last year with 161 kick meters. I don't expect him to get anywhere near that with Adam Reynolds and Ben Hunt, or Ezra Mam in the team, and then Ben Hunt returning. So, he did pick up his meters last week with Mam, but I don't expect it to get back to 160. So if it hovers around the 80-ish mark, he loses 3 points there. So that he becomes a 48, 49 guy and is not a keeper. That's like a very small thing, and he might even get the kick meters, but it's just what turned me off in the end because he didn't hit that 50-point threshold. And that's with the other stats. Like he needs to average a try a game just to get back there and stuff. Like which all stuff can happen. I just didn't think he was going to get back to a 50-point score, which is a minimum like keeper level. Obviously he's priced at 35, so there's heaps of value there. Second fold, I will have to make a decision on one of those sort of winger fullbacks in round 18. I think like him, Tommy Turbo, someone like that. And I can just wait till round 18 to assess that. Broncos have a bit of a tougher draw. They've got the Sharks and the Warriors, so there was no rush. He's got a 35 break even, so I'm expecting him to average 50 or so. So he's not going to make too much money on that. So I'm happy to wait. Wanted to pick up Jed, who I at least knew would be shit. His basement price, I only had one basement price in my team, like one pure cash down. So I'm fine doing that. He does give me a number for round 18, which is good. Like, even if he scores a 20, I'm not going to take him, right? And then I have to get one of those gross options in Reece Walsh or Tommy Turbo, and not necessarily gross, but like one of those guys he's taking a flyer on. But if he even scores a 35, I'm just going to avoid all of them altogether and just take it. Like, so his bar for providing me value is so low that, I think in round 18, if he scores a 35, I'll just take it. Like Tommy Turbo, Walsh, whoever plays is probably going to only score like a 45 to 50 anyway, and it's just not worth a trade in at that point. So, I'll probably just stick with Jed if he gets a 35 plus. And I only need one of him and Lawson to do well because I'm bringing in Garrick. So it's fine. So I'm happy with that. A 30 is not too bad. Obviously, he scored a try. That was a 14-point try. So he got 16 for the rest of the game, which is fine. Like, obviously, we saw Tamale get some 40s and stuff without a try. He's not a Tamale. Like, he's not going to break those tackles. He's not going to take those dummy half scoots. It's fine. Raiders didn't have much ball in the second half either. There was an opportunity where they went out wide to his wing, but he'd just taken a hit up, but he would have got an extra 10 or so if that was him instead of Ethan Strange. So, like the path to success is okay. Like I didn't get him to make money. I just got him as a cash down who actually provides me value in round 18 if he scores half decently. So, all I needed to do was pretty much score a try in round 18, which is like a 50-50. So I'll take it. It is what it is. And he can always, get a couple of line breaks or something. But the barrier to entry for him being a relevant option for me was relatively easy. The other news coming out of that game, Latu Fainu is going to be in everyone's team next week, including mine. There's no way Heath Mason is the 5/8 after that game. Heath Mason wasn't bad, but Latu Fainu is special. Like, he was ridiculously good. In the first half, I was like, he was playing well in lock and like started the second half at lock. And I was like, this guy's like fine at lock. Like, he's really good. Maybe they just keep him there. And then 5 minutes later, Heath Mason comes off and Latu Fainu moves to 5/8. And he just was incredible in a losing side. So, I think it's pretty clear he's going to be the 5/8. He pumped out like a 45, I think, last night. What was it? 44. So, how much money is he going to make, actually? I'll have a look for that one. He'll be cheap. He'll be under 300k still for sure. And I think he's just going to come into everyone's team. He would have been an option for me instead of Jed Stewart or Reece Walsh, except for one thing. In round 18, the Roosters versus the Tigers, which means I couldn't have looped him or Savala because they play in the same game. So obviously I'm getting Jahrome Hughes by then, so he'd be my number one half. And then it would have been Savala and Latu Fainu who verse each other. So, I would have to choose one of them. So I didn't have any reason to get Latu at that stage. But things have changed now. He's clearly the half we want. Yeah, he's going to be 298k, so that's fine. Yeah, he's clearly going to be the 5/8 next week. I'm going to plan towards bringing him in next week, like with my rolling trades this round, in the theory that he is 5/8 and I want him in my team. So that changes things. Like I said, Savala versus Latu Fainu. So Savala is useless to me after this round. If I do get Fainu, like obviously if he scores another 50, then it's not useless. Like he has a low break even, but let's say he scores around a 40. And then let's just say he scores 40 every week. Like he's not going to make too much money off the back of it after this week. So I'll keep him this round, but I don't need him for round 18. He has a bye next week. And like I said, I did want 2 loop options, but I've essentially got 2 red dots to use for loops. But I don't actually have anyone to loop at this stage. Like I've got Lawson and Jed Stewart, who I'm not going to take their scores really, unless, I don't know, if they play early in the week. I don't know when they play. Let's have a look. Why does it always do this? It's the worst system to try and check. Yeah, no, they don't play that early. Like the Raiders play third, but yeah, like unless they play early in the week and score really well, I'm not going to be taking their scores. So yeah, like essentially I have 4 red dots at this stage because none of those guys are playing in my team. But yeah, Savala down to a Latu Fainu, and maybe I can use him as a loop, but yeah, like I don't need him as a loop option at this stage. Latu plays early in the week, so that's good. I could use him as a loop for sure. But yeah, like I only need 1 red dot, and that's fine. Like the rest of my team is pretty much keepers. So yeah, Savala is essentially useless to my team after this round. He's been really good, but it's probably time to go. Latu Fainu will come in for him next week. That's fine. I do want to keep him this round. I'm not playing him. I only have 2 halve spots. And yeah, I just don't... Like I would like his cash generation this week, and then if he pumps out like a 50, 60, I can rework some things. But yeah, at this stage, he'll be out of my team for Latu Fainu next week, which frees up an extra 220-ish K. And then I've already got 350K from that first trade. So I'm going to have about 570K, which is awesome. I have made 1 trade already this round on the back of that, Hines to Hughes. Talked about it yesterday. The reasons we want to sell Hughes are the reasons we... Sorry. Yeah, what Hughes is pretty much essentially what Hines is essentially what Jahrome Hughes is, like an underpriced potential keeper, and we're basing that off their previous data, in like historical data in previous seasons. So yeah, I don't really want to sell him, but off the back of this, like getting Latu Fainu, I think it makes more sense. I don't need him from round 18, obviously. I do view Hughes as more of a keeper than Hines, and is cheaper, and he plays round 18. So them as a straight swap actually makes a little bit of sense. It's a luxury trade for sure, but it's one I'm happy to do. So then I'm down to 10 trades after that one, and then 9 trades after Savala to Latu Fainu. But I also needed to trade someone. I needed to have other guys that were trade targets like Hines, that were like uncomfortable trades that I just need to upgrade, like luxury trades almost, because I've got so much money in the bank now. So the next one will be Hosking up to Kiraz next week, sorry. So that'll cost me like another 150K, so I'll still have 400K in the bank, and then I can start targeting those Clearys, Yos, like my premium players from the next round onwards. So I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, there's a few guys that won't be keepers, like Duncan, Cook, Garrick, maybe Fermor, but we'll see. And apart from that, like that it can be upgraded to those premium players. So I'm actually in a really good spot now. I've got a lot, not of cash generation, but I've got a lot of cash in the bank due to the trades I want to make. I could even have more cash, which I don't love, but it will depend on the options. I've got it written down here just in case I forgot. So I'm not taking Hoskins 41. He looks pretty gone, by the way. Like I don't think he's much of an option. He played 80 last night because Hudson Young went off. I don't know if he was injured or just backing up from Origin, but he played 80. A few of those were in the middle and still got a 41, like gross as. So yeah, I'm happy to upgrade him next week now. I don't need him in round 18 at this stage. Yeah, so I've moved Tallis Duncan and Aiken up. So Duncan can fit in mid or edge, and then Aiken can fit in edge. I can take both of their scores if they both pump out a 60. Aiken is in centre, by the way, so I don't think he'll score very well. So if you have better options, like a Siwa Wong or something that you're debating, I'd go Siwa Wong or adjacent instead of Aiken, because playing in centres, he averages like 40. I can have the potential to take both of their scores if they both score 60. I'll make a pretty gross trade, Haas to Preston. So obviously Preston's on the bye this week, so I just go Haas, switch him with Couchman. Couchman moves up there, and then trade in Preston. He does help for round 18, that's fine. I wouldn't need Haas's score then, because I've got Tallis Duncan and Aiken both scoring a 60. If one of them scores a 50, then I'm probably not going to do it, because like they need to score very well for me in order for me to make a pretty much a sideways trade with Haas. But I have the potential if I want to. The next one, if Tallis Duncan scores 60 plus and Aiken scores a 20, I'll go Haas to Wong. Again, it's kind of gross, but it will stop me from taking a... Oh, wait. Why would I do that? I did this last night just before bed. I don't actually need to do that, because I can just go Tallis Duncan up here. That's fine. Why would I do that? Anyway, I'm not going to do that, because I'll just take Haas's score in that stage. And then if Tallis Duncan and Aiken both score 20, I'll go Savala to Wong. So that one makes more sense. Why the hell would I do that second one? Yeah, ignore that second one. If they both score 20, I'll just go Savala to Wong. So that's fine. Then I don't have to take any of those scores, and I can hopefully get a Wong decent score, because I think he has upside. Everyone wants Eli Katoa, but I would actually rather Wong at this price point. Obviously, they have the bye, so that's a bit annoying. But yeah, apart from that, I think he's actually a good option. He's averaging 54 this year, priced at 48. Has something going the last couple of weeks with tackles, so that could continue, might not, but there's upside there. And yeah, he's just averaging 54, so clearly underpriced. He just has that buy to come, obviously. That's about it for my trade plans. We'll get into the recap from last night. I sort of rambled on there. But yeah, obviously, we've got this little thing from the top 1,000. So the par score, I'm beating. I'm on a 201 with my captain played from two guys when the par is 171. Again, I find that really hard to believe. I think this one's more accurate this week. Average is 192 because, yeah, obviously a lot of people had Tarpanay and stuff like that. But yeah, that's fine. I'm beating par at this stage, which is good, but won't count my chickens before they hatch. We're one game in. Average of 0.6 trades have been used so far. Obviously, everyone captained Terrell May. No surprises there. These trades get upgraded during the round. But yeah, Jahrome Hughes, already the most popular. That will climb to 300%. 300. I do that every time. 30%, 300 traded in. I'm sure it'll be close to that number anyway. If he's already this much of a standout after one game, it always upgrades when they play their game as well. So yeah, after his game, that will skyrocket, I think. Jed Stewart was actually 3.6% picked up, which I thought was a little bit high. I'm surprised, but yeah, if you picked up Latu Fainu, well done to you. Tallis Duncan, not as surprising, not as picked up as I thought he would be, but obviously that trend will continue upwards as well. But yeah, Tamale, obviously the number one trade out. Jazz Tavanga, Nathan Cleary, off the back of Origin, a few people traded him out, and I think he is a trade. If he's not goal kicking as well, he loses a lot of value in round 17. Then he has to back up again in 19. So yeah, I think he could be traded. But yeah, that's about it for now. We'll get into that recap game. So yeah, Raiders went out to a 16-0 lead. Tigers did come back 12-16, and they looked like they were going to run them over. Somehow Raiders held on. But yeah, it was actually a really good game. To be honest, after the blowout, the Tigers looked like they had something. And yeah, I'm not mad the Raiders won, but yeah, it would have been nice to see the Tigers get over the top there at the end. But it was a really good game. Jahrome May obviously pumps out the scoring with a 66 in 68 minutes. So those minutes are lower, which might be a little bit of a game plan from here on out. He played the first 50, then came off for 12 minutes and then came back for the rest. His points per minutes is fine, and that just might be something to monitor. He does lose a little bit of value if he's down to that sort of minutes, but it's totally fine. 66, nothing wrong with that. Everyone captained him. 2 tackle breaks, 2 offloads. Yeah, pretty standard from him, but just a normal game. Just had a few less minutes. Everyone talks about his character issues, right? Simi Sasungi, with 5 minutes to go, offloaded the ball on his own line, just out of bounds, like, which was a stupid play from him. He was just down on the ground, like he was clearly upset with himself. Jahrome, who's in a losing side with like 5 minutes to go, just comes over and picks him up and like pats him on the back, and then it's like on his way. Like, that's a really good sportsmanship play. Like, obviously went completely unnoticed. It was filmed on camera. No commentators talked about it. Like, he just gets such a bad rap, and I'm sure like maybe he deserves some of it. Whatever. Like, I don't know. I like the bloke, but yeah, like, I'm sure there are some character issues there. He doesn't just develop out of nothing. But yeah, everything I've seen is a really nice bloke, and he's just getting so hard done by not playing Origin and stuff like that. But yeah, just a small moment I noticed last night. Adam Dewey with a 52. So yeah, really good game from him. 9 tackle breaks. He did a few crab runs sideways when the Tigers were scrambling, so that helped his score. Don't think he's much of an option. He does help in round 18 in a kind of a gross centre position, but yeah, this is like one of his better games in centre. If he was playing 5'8", different story, but there's no path to that anymore. So yeah, nice game, but no relevancy. Same as Luai with a 52. Well done backing up. Can't believe he didn't get suspended. That's crazy for the eye gouge, but yeah, whatever. Not much you can do. And I'm glad he didn't, because now we actually see Latu Fainu. Like, we know that he's got that role on merit and not just because Luai's out. So yeah, good game from him. He looked really good when Latu Fainu moved to the 5'8" position, but before that he was a bit in and out of the game. But yeah, really picked up in the second half, as did most of the Tigers. Stafford Toa with a 49. Yeah, this guy is being crazy this year. He had a little bit of an off patch and then everyone sold him, and now he's back flying again. So yeah, no one has him, but well done. Samuela Fainu. I talked about him pretty substantially as like an option over Tallis Duncan at 100k cheaper. Literally had all the same metrics that you're looking for in Tallis Duncan, but played round 19 as well. And yeah, he scored really well. He got a 48 in 80 minutes, so the role's still good, playing 80, 39 tackles, so 50 in base, just missed 5 tackles, which can't say is too out of the ordinary for him. He looked good. He almost had a try off a Terrell May offload, but it was called forward. But yeah, he would have got a 60 in that case. Terrell May would have got a 75, or maybe he would have got a 79 actually, because it was a -2 play. He would have got a +11, so yeah, he would have got a 79. Yeah, like a 48 is really good in that sort of game from Fainu. So yeah, you'll take that if you do pick him up. I don't think many people did, but yeah, I did advocate for him as an option over Tallis Duncan. But I hope Tallis Duncan outscores that, because I have him as well. Fanua Bole, he looked really good actually. 49 minutes is decent. 45 is good. He looks huge. He should be such a better fantasy player, just because he should be bumping off tackles every play. But yeah, he just doesn't have it in his game yet. But he was really good in real life. What is his price actually? Api Coruscant with a 42, played 80 again. So De Silva didn't even come on. There was talks midweek that they're looking to loan him out. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But yeah, Api was fine. Again, 48 tackles for a 42 fantasy score is pretty much classic for these hookers, like him, Reid Marnie, stuff like that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, 420k. Let's have a look into him a little bit. I know, he's always had those minutes. That's crazy. When did he play 69 minutes? That's ridiculous. Anyway, he's not an option. Alex Twal almost got over for another try. They had a line break, and then there was a guy flying down the left. I can't remember who it was. And then he passes right to Alex Twal, who gets chased down in like 5 meters, and he only had 20 to run. But well done for backing up, Alex. Yeah, just didn't have the legs in the end. That would have been his 3rd career try. Yeah, nothing much of fantasy relevancy. He used to be a fantasy option if you used to play back in the day, but yeah, not anymore. Alex Seyfarth with a 39 and 59 minutes. So yeah, time for him to go. He had a HIA. I mean, no one should have him anymore, but I had him to start the year. I forgot to talk about Latu Fainu, sorry. Yeah, really good. So he was playing really well at lock, and then yeah, moved into 5'8" with about 30 minutes to go. I think he's a 5'8" from now on. His New South Wales Cup stats aren't good, but yeah, he passes the eye test completely. He's going to develop into a better player. I expect him to kick a little bit. Yeah, Luai's not a dominant kicker, so I don't think they split it. Maybe Latu gets 25-30% of the kicking, and that's more than enough. He is a solid ball runner, should get a few try assists, a few tackle breaks. So yeah, he's an attacking half who does kick a little bit, I'm guessing. And yeah, I think he's totally fine to bring in. Who else were we up to? Oh yeah, Latu Fainu, 35 and 36 minutes. Good PPM, but not an option really. He is starting to look good though as an NRL player. That's about it from that side. Heath Mason, he's gone skis from that team now, you'd have to imagine. Over to the Raiders side, and Joseph Tarpany, really good score. He pretty much was going to be on track for a monster score after like 10 minutes. So he was on 15 tackles after like 12 minutes, which is crazy alone, without a miss, obviously. He didn't miss one all game. And then he saves a try with a turnover tackle. So he got up to like 30 after, 15 minutes or something, and then crashed over for a try. So, awesome start from him. 48 minutes is slightly better than it has been. We'd still like to see that in low 50s, but if he's getting this sort of base, like he didn't get an offload, didn't get a tackle break, and still pumped out a 69. Obviously, he's not going to get two turnovers, a try save, and a try every game, but absolutely awesome score. I was surprised. He's only owned by like 70% of people. I thought that would be higher. I guess a lot of people sold him into going into round 15 and stuff like that. But really good score. Josh Papali'i with a 53 and 51 minutes. So those minutes have been good actually. He did start again. I thought that was just for his milestone game last week, but no, he stayed again. Morgan Smithy's off the bench. So he's not a fantasy option, but really good score again from him. Like 65% owned in the top 5,000. That's crazy to me. Tom Starling, 51 and 63 minutes with a try save. Nothing too crash hot there. Again, like 5 missed tackles is pretty standard from him. Corey Horsburgh with a 49 and 59 minutes. So the minutes pretty strong. He hadn't played 55 minutes for a while there, which is why I sold him. And he's played a couple. I think he played decent minutes last week as well. I can't remember, but his points per minutes was a little bit down. Just didn't get any offloads or anything like that, which he's accustomed to doing. But nothing wrong with the 49. He's just not really a keeper. There's so many at that level or slightly higher that, it's just not worth keeping. But I'd keep him for round 18 if you have him still, but I don't think many do. Jamal Fogarty with a 44. Nothing too bad there. Just didn't really get involved in too much. So 600 kick meters is great. He just doesn't run the ball much. 4 missed tackles is going to hurt him a little bit, but it's a little bit of an off score, but he'll be better than that. He's one of the best options for round 18. And it was good to see him kick again because I think he lost it last week to Strange, and Strange missed them all. So he made them all, I think, and Fogarty's still kicking this week, so that's a good sign. I think it was like a calf thing that he missed a week for, but he's going to get to an appealing price-ish for round 18. I don't think we're going to do it, most of us. Like, there's not much of a need, but he is quite heavily owned, but he'll lose another 20k or so, be priced at 51, and we know he's better than that. I think he averaged 60 with Ethan Strange at 5/8 last year, averaging 54 this year, so he'll be a little bit cheap, underpriced, but I probably won't look to pick him up. Zach Hosking with a 41 in 80 minutes is pretty gross. He had negative 12 in the first half in negative stats, which is terrible. He didn't have any in the second half, which is great. 44 tackles, 71 meters is fine, but there was just nothing else to the game. Like, he didn't have a tackle break, didn't have any offloads again. Like, he's just not doing much. We'll see. The only reason I'd keep him is if Hudson Young's out for a couple of weeks. But and if you need round 18 cover, then absolutely. But for me, I don't need it, so I'm just going to look to upgrade him. Get me your Preston, who I know is going to be a lot better than that. Morgan Smithies, it's probably time for him to go. Maybe you can stretch it to round 18, but the PPM is great, but the minutes just aren't there at the moment. But you never know with rookie. You could change that next week, and then Morgan gets 60 minutes. Jed Stewart with a 30, already talked about him. It's not too bad. The run meters are solid-ish. He looked good under the high ball, so maybe there's an option there. Fogarty did kick to him a little bit, but he might get a try off that, but he could also get errors by knocking them on. We've seen with like Marky Mark, Nwangani-Tuase, who gets like negative. Like, he gets like 6 errors a game just because he's batting, like contesting a high ball, and he just touches it forward or something like that. So it could go both ways, but it is an option. He's a bigger frame, but he didn't really break too many tackles or anything. So I don't think he's much of an option. If you don't have him, do not bring him in. But he worked for my team. Hudson Young, 30 and 55 minutes, so we'll monitor his injury. NRL physio did say something, but he said he didn't get a chance to see it yet, so I'll just wait to see what is the go there. Otherwise, Samisa Sungi might become an option, but he had a low break even and he's already like 330k, so yeah, not really interested myself, but if he's starting for a couple of weeks on the edge, he will help in round 18, and obviously has that centre duel as well. But that's about it. I think I am going to lock in Hines to Hughes unless we hear something over the next couple of hours before the games. But yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a luxury trade, but we'll see. I just want Hughes in, and this is pretty much the only way I can play him. Hines has a big break even. Hughes has a low one. Hughes plays 18, so it does make sense. I think I'll do it, and that's all from me. I'll probably have a video out tonight or tomorrow. What time's the last game? Yeah, maybe tomorrow, but it is my missus' birthday, so we'll see. Either after the last game tonight or tomorrow. So yeah, enjoy your weekend, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye.